Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Crossover Pod. Today we'll be talking about the Ayton, him signing to the Lakers. I'll talk about Mike Brown going to the Knicks as their new head coach, and also Lillard's top three teams. I'll let you start it off today. Whichever one you want to start with.
Why don't we start with Ayton? Lakers get eight and they finally get their big man. Do you think that kind of like pushes the needle a little bit? It helps them, on their maybe their championship run potentially.
I'm gonna say it helps them because they get a big man. It doesn't help them on their championship run, if you know
Yeah.
like the difference that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I know what you mean. It's like they were desperate for a big man, so any improvement there is a positive. So obviously getting Ayton is going to be a big help for them. It's going to help them at least be a little bit more competitive. But I just don't really like the fit with the Lakers. A team that really does need guys who can help on defense, and Ayton is just not that guy yet. Maybe one day he
If
can,
he could turn into that guy, like be a defensive, caliber, like then like what we're gonna say is all gonna be false, and he's actually gonna help them a lot. But just off what the past five, 7 years that he's been in the league, it's just like he hasn't been that.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen enough of him to kind of know the gist of like who he is as a player. And it's not that he's some bum or anything. He's definitely not worth being a number one overall pick. But he's talented. He's good on the offensive side. It's just, man, that defense is not great. And especially when you're now paired up with, Luca, an aging LeBron, if he stays. Who knows what's happening with Austin Reeves, if he's going to still be there or not.
Even if all those players stay, Reeves' defense is the greatest. Luka's defense is ass. LeBron's defense isn't as good anymore. Aiden doesn't have so it's like offensively speaking, that's a bucket walk like walking buckets.
Mhm.
Defensively speaking, you got five cones right there. Shh.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's like, yeah, it helps them getting a big man that they did desperately need, but I just don't think it's going to help them win a championship. And I would expect that LeBron is probably going to get out of there, maybe go to Dallas, maybe go back to Cleveland, even though I guess rumors were saying that Cleveland's not that interested. I don't know why. If I was Cleveland, I'd be pretty interested in getting LeBron. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's good for the Lakers, to get a guy like him. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's really going to be too
I
much of
feel
an
like a
impact.
healthy Rob Williams would be more impactful for the Lakers than DeAndre Ayton right now. Even like that. He's a rim protector, lob threat. He has a decent mid range. They just need like a paint present big. Once they get that, then like now we're talking.
Yeah, I think like a Rudy Gobert, they had Anthony Davis, like those type of guys is kind of a good thing to put alongside guys like LeBron and Luca. Obviously, they have to give up AD for Luca. But yeah, I think that's really my overall opinion on it. So I don't know. We can move into the next one if you want.
Yeah, the next one is Mike Brown. We could talk about that one next.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
probably not too much to talk about. They needed a coach. I think we said in a podcast ago that we really like Mike Brown or Mike Malone, one of those two. If we felt like they got one of them, we would like where the next direction is going. And one day goes by and they hire Mike Brown. Solid coach, had a solid run with the Sacramento Kings, and we'll see what he can do with the Knicks in a really big market like that. Big difference in Sacramento, but he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He's competent. I think he's a lot more competent than Tom Thibodeau. So I think Knicks fans should be pretty happy going into the next season. He should be better with the rotations and trying to get them, ready for the playoffs. So I like it a lot for the Knicks.
I like it as well. I think he's better than Thibodeau. I was also reading that the Knicks really want Malone as an assistant. I don't
Mm.
think Malone's gonna want to be an assistant head coach when he's an actual head coach. But it, if they compare both of those guys up, then like now we're talking. Like their coaching staff has like almost no more flaws. They got two head coaches basically. They got a better bench now. So it's like next, especially with how open the East is, they can actually make a run for it. I hate New York. I hope they don't do it. So we got to see with that.
Yeah, I mean, we're Knicks haters, but I think they're really trending in the right direction, especially
Oh
with,
yeah.
Jordan Clarkson.
With those pickups
Yabusele.
and the coaching move, it was a big step in the right direction. They
Yeah,
still maintained all the guy from last year. They picked up some more, improved on the coach. So
yeah. I think they made all the changes, that would you would want to see for a team trying to, win a championship. So I think they're probably going to win the East next year if I had to give my best guess. Um, so yeah, if you're a New York fan, congrats. It's a big move. You've made a couple big moves already, and you should be pretty excited to see where they're going to go heading forward.
do you think a fully New York Knicks team is better than a fully New York Sixers team next year?
A fully what? A fully New York Sixers team?
A fully healthy New York team or a fully healthy Sixers team? Which one's better?
Knicks by a long shot. Knicks are so much better than the Sixers.
You think so?
Yes, 100%.
Bro, a fully healthy 76ers is going to be problematic.
You think no, bro? A fully healthy like
A
Paul
fully healthy
George.
Embiid won the MVP. A fully healthy Paul George is decent. 10 points, 50 points. A fully healthy Tyrese Maxey. And now you're adding VJ. You got Fufu McCain. I'm not a fan of him, but he was a bucket when he was healthy. He was getting like 20. They got good pieces.
I don't trust them. It's like I don't trust Embiid in the playoffs, and I really don't trust Paul George to begin with anywhere. I trust the Knicks a lot more, even with Cat being, inconsistent at times. I trust him more than I trust Embiid, if I'm being straight up. Um,
I don't know. I trust Embiid more than Cat.
nah, bro,
Because
it's like it's something
I
about
trust Jalen
Embiid.
Brunson the most out of all of those guys. But like team wise, I think 76 are gonna be better if they're fully healthy.
I just fully healthy is just a weird thing because like Embiid is never fully healthy. There's never going to be a world anymore where Embiid is fully healthy. That's the problem. Or Paul George. So, now that we're on it, there's not going to be a world where they're fully healthy. There's always going to be something going on with those two guys. Um, so yeah, I mean the Sixers are a joke. I don't even want to give them the attention because they really don't deserve it.
That's crazy. So what's your predictions for the 1 through 5 for the East?
1 through 5. Well, let's just name the teams and maybe we can put them in order. So, Celtics are probably going to still be competitive. They're definitely not going to be top two, most likely. But, Celtics, Knicks, um, Bucks, maybe if Giannis, definitely if Giannis is there. Orlando, Detroit, Cleveland. So those are kind of your top six. Maybe I'm missing someone, but I think that's kind of.
Did you say Magic?
Yeah, I said Magic. Pacers, I'm not putting in because Halliburton's going to be out.
Pacers out, Miles Turner left. Like,
Yeah, so I think the number one seed most likely is going to be New York.
you
I'd
think
probably
they're a
put
60-win team or no?
60 win team. Fully healthy, not I want to say fully healthy, but health being a factor and they stay mostly healthy throughout the season, they could be a 60 win team. I wouldn't be shocked if they're 60 wins. So I'd probably put them at the one. Do you disagree with that?
I feel like Cleveland's still better.
You think Cleveland's still better than the Knicks? I don't know. I think Cleveland's probably going to be the two seed. I think they're going to take
Because
a little step
Cleveland,
back.
what did they lose on this year? They lost Ty Jerome. That's about it.
Then they trade Isaac Okoro for who they just trade Isaac Okoro for?
I don't remember.
They traded him for someone. Nah, I can't remember either. Uh, but I think Knicks are going to be one. I think Cleveland's going to be two. Uh, I forgot Atlanta's there too, but I think they're going to be lower.
Atlanta's not a top 5 team.
I think people are going to overrate Atlanta. So yeah, so Knicks, Cavs, Orlando or Detroit for
Over the
me.
Celtics?
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to give it to Orlando 3, Celtics 4, Pistons 5, maybe Bucks 6 or Atlanta 6. I think that's where you kind of trail off. Um, so I think that's probably where I'd have it if I had to, give my best estimation.
Yeah, mine's a little similar. I got Cavs 1, Knicks 2, Celtics 3, Magic 4, Pistons 5.
Yeah, that's pretty similar overall. Um, I like what Orlando's doing. I like what they're building. They gave up a crap ton for Desmond Bain, but I like him as a piece fitting alongside of Bancaro and Wagner. And they still got guys like Wendell Carter, and Jonathan Isaac. They have like good rotational pieces as well. And they're getting better. That's the one thing too. Bancaro's going to take another step forward. Wagner's probably going to take another step forward. So I like them as like a top four seed. I really do.
Yeah.
Pistons too, but I think the Pistons didn't do as much as
Um,
Orlando did.
I think the Magic were the 7th seed, but Paulo was hurt for what, 2, 3 months. Wagner
Yeah.
was hurt for another 2 months, and they were still a 7th seed. That was
Hmm.
their two best players, and then even role players were getting hurt. Um, what what's the kid's name? He's dating the girl
Um.
from Suggs.
Oh yeah, Jalen
He
Suggs.
was
Yeah.
out for the whole year. I'm not saying he's a great player, but he's a crucial player for that team. He was hurt for the whole season. So it's like they get like a three of the top five players back.
Yeah. And you get Anthony Black. We didn't mention him. Anthony
Yeah.
Black had a good year.
You got Anthony
So
Black, and now you upgrade KCP from Bain, which is a great upgrade.
mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think they're a top four team. And with the Celtics being injured and having no big man, they could potentially be better than the Celtics. I'm just favoring the Celtics because I have more faith in the Celtics because I'm from Boston. But I don't know. Those two teams are gonna fight for that number 3 spot.
Yeah. I think the Magic are going to be better than the Celtics record wise. I think fully healthy, Tatum in the mix. Of course, they're not better,
Oh,
but
bro, fully healthy, Celtics should be number 1. Last year, the Cavs had a fluke. When they came
yeah.
back down to the earth last year, towards the end, we almost like took over the number 1 spot.
Yeah, it was a weird year last year. But yeah, I think that's probably my East predictions. Lillard, I think, is going to be a guy who, we're obviously watching, seeing what the hell's going to happen with him because he ends up on one of those teams. They could take a big jump up. He's obviously going to miss time in the regular season while he's rehabbing. But once he's back and healthy and he's on like a pretty competitive team, like you put him on the Celtics or where else maybe Miami, but they're probably not going to be that
If you want to
great.
switch on Lillard, his top three teams was the Lakers, the Bay, and the Celtics because he's from Oakland. So
Hmm.
he would want to go to those two teams. And then he said he's really interested in the Celtics because he's best friends with Tatum and he loves what the organization is doing, he said.
Hmm.
So those are his top three teams if you want to dive into that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where he's coming from in terms of like what team he wants to go to because he wants to be in Cali. He's from Cali. I understand that, but I really don't see a great fit with him on the Lakers. Like, I think him on the Lakers would be a disaster. Like, I don't see how he would fit in there with Luca and LeBron. I
That's like
just,
way too guard heavy and almost like what the Suns are doing right now. You got
mhm.
Reeves, Lillard, and Luca. Three offensive, like great players, ball dominant. Plus LeBron has four ball dominant guys, and then no defense.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't like it on the Lakers. He's not a great defensive guy as it is, and you're just putting him on a team with barely any defensive pieces. He's pretty ball dominant, and you're playing
If
alongside two of the
if
most ball
Reeves
dominant
leaves
guys.
next year, though, I feel like that would be a good pickup because he just replaced Reeves for Lillard.
Yeah, but Reeves is a shooting guard. Like Lillard needs the ball in his hands. I don't see Lillard being an off ball.
No, yeah, Lillard could be the point guard, but it could be like what it was with the Mavs, where Kyrie was the point guard and Luka was the shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, but
they did it with the
that didn't
Mavs.
even work either. So,
Huh?
but that didn't even work either.
They went
So
to the
you can't
finals.
and lost pretty badly too. So you're not going to win a championship with two point guards as your starting guards and putting one of them at the shooting guard. It's not going to work. It never has. So it's stupid. The Lakers is a dumb thing, and the same thing with the Warriors. He's going to go to the Warriors and be what, the two, maybe the one, have Curry at the two. Now you have two undersized guards as your starters. Not a great defensive team as it is. I understand he wants to be in California maybe because he's from there, but the fit is horrible. Um, I think the Celtics is a much better fit. He goes alongside guys like Brown, guys like White. who can really help him on the defensive end. He can be that guy who can score while Tatum's, rehabbing. I think the
I
Celtics is a
mean,
much
they're
better
both
fit.
gonna rehab together next year. So
That's what I mean. They'll come back, they'll rehab together, they'll come back at a similar time. And then boom, you add them with Brown and White, Pritchard, Simons if he's still there. And that's a championship caliber team, and I think
if
most people's eyes.
if the Celtics are able to get Lillard, it will go Lillard, White, Brown, Tatum, and I want to flip Simons for a big. Because if we get Lillard with Simons right now, then we're gonna be in the same position like we're saying for the Lakers or the Suns, where we're two guard dominant. Because Brown really is a two. He's not really a three. And then you got White, who's a guard, Simons, who's a guard. So it's just like I don't
I don't
want
know.
to
I
have
see
too
I
many
see Brown
guards.
as a three more than a two.
Eh, I feel like he fits better at the two instead of three.
I mean, he's a bigger two, but I feel like
Yeah,
the best versions we've seen of Brown, he's been a three. Um, so I think I just like him there.
maybe.
But
I
yeah, we
like
definitely
Tatum
still
at three though.
need
That's why, to be honest.
Celtics still need a center. Even if they do add Lillard, we still need a center. I love the guy who we drafted from Kentucky, Amari Williams. I don't know. I doubt he's going to start right away or something like that. But I want him to get actual
Even if
playing
he
time.
doesn't start though, he's guaranteed minutes with our roster. He got Queta, Tillman, and him. So it's like throw him in there. It's just like what do you really got to lose at that point?
Yeah, you don't have much to lose. I'd probably throw him into the fire, see how he does. I just don't want to see him buried in the G League. But I think I believe in Missoula and Brad enough to understand what we're seeing and just,
Believe in Brad, not Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla lost us the game against the Knicks, and I'm
I mean,
standing by
it
that.
doesn't matter what was going to happen. We weren't going to win last year anyways, so I'm not going to go hard on Missoula for that.
Like
Um,
we could have
but yeah,
won game one and game two
I
if Big
think
Man didn't do chuck a three.
I think if I'm Damian Lillard and his whole idea is what team is going to best help me win a ring, if that's what he wants most, and I hope he does, I think Celtics should be his number one option. And I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can. I just think it's the best fit for him. I don't see him being a good fit with the Warriors or the Lakers. If he wants to go to Miami and just live his life on Miami Beach, shout out him, but if he really just wants a ring, I think Celtics is his best bet.
If the Celtics in a perfect world, they get Lillard, flip Simons for I don't know, Bam, Laurie, someone. That's like guarantee, oh, not guarantee because anything could happen, right? Like 90%. It's like what the Celtics was last year, or no, we won 24, so 2 years ago. It's like that team where it's like almost like you're expected to win.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you're the clear favorite if that happens.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm guessing he's going to get signed in the next couple of days. And I'm just gonna, being a Celtic fan, I'm gonna hope it's gonna be with us. But if not, that's on him. I know he really, really does love California, so I have a bad feeling he's gonna end up somewhere over there. Um, so I guess we'll have to wait and see.
yeah. It also depends with the money situation though, because we're already back in the second apron. So it's like if we do get him, we gotta make some moves
Which I
compared.
think is bound to happen. I still think Hauser's getting shopped around, maybe
I
guys
hope
like
so.
Tillman, so
Tillman's making like 3 5 million a year though. He doesn't change anything.
I mean we're not that much past the second apron, it's like Luca Garza, I think is the guy who put us over and he signed for like 2 years, 5 mil. So
Yeah. I I just I gotta get Sam Hauser out of it, bro, if I'm being honest. Sam Hauser, if you're watching this, I saw you at Zara at the Natick Mall, but man, you gotta get out of here, bro.
yeah, I think best bet is for Simons to be flipped for a big guy, but
I
I don't
think
want to make
that's
it too much.
also
I don't want to make it too much about the Celtics. So yeah, I think was that's all the big news. Lillard, Ayton, and Mike Brown.
yeah, for now that's all that happened since our last recap video. So if anything else happens, we could, start another episode. But for now, that's all for today.
All right, thank you guys for watching.
Have a good day, guys.